know, King. I know, King.
Not at all.
I know, King.
So, like, what's your speeches? And do you call them speeches? Like, do you have a special word for it, or do you just go with speeches? That's cool?
Yeah, I guess say words from the heart because I don't write speeches. I just speak from the heart.
Got you.
Yeah.
Like, and I saw the one. I guess this was the one you was talking about earlier because I think this was like 1.4, 1.5. Well, when you talking to the football team,
absolutely.
Going, and you delivered a powerful speech, and in that speech, you gave nuggets that, of course, you was relating to the on the field, but it was a lot that you can take and apply it
it's a lot
off the field. Yeah. And you talked about kids having to, like, getting out here and they finding sports, or they finding a trade or their hobby right now. There's not really a hobby. This is life and death for a lot of them if they're not successful.
Yes.
Was there ever a point in time, like, what was that point in time in your life that you feel like, you know what, I have to do this because if I don't do this, I'm going to die out here? What was your transition moment? Was it sports for you? What saved you from your situation?
It was when I was a young boy. I was about probably like 16 years old. And when I was 16, I was out in LA. And my dad and them, man, they used to have me. First time I ever learned about boxer briefs is to put heroin in the dog food.
Oh, man.
And they had me put dog food in my boxer briefs, and we drove down. I wasn't scared. And then I seen this my whole life.
Got you.
So I was getting, I went down there, and then that following week, I got on a plane with a bowl of marijuana. All that. I'm 16, dog, in the casino with the big gold. I'm talking about the 16, 17 with the, them long little drinks they be having on the strip. Because we look big. I ain't gonna lie, Michigan Kings, we look grown at a young age. We put glasses on, shirt on, you could never tell nothing. But man, it was a moment that I almost seen my pops, go away for a long time.
Got you.
It was very scary. It was a very scary moment. It wasn't scary as a sense of what was happening, but he almost had to take somebody's life, and I seen it. And I looked at him and I saw myself, but I told myself, like, that's not who I want to be. Like, I like loving my brothers. Like like Nipsey used to say, raised to shoot at black man, I never felt the satisfaction. That's my mindset. I love my brothers.
Gotcha.
I love all of them, even when, you feel me, they gang banging, they acting hard, because I know the truth. I know they broken. The reason why these young kings go out here and take a chance with their life every day because they're not even living right now. You ask a kid to go drive some dope out of town, that might be his only time to ever go out of town. So why not take a chance? I'm just ticking to die here. Why not take a chance to live just for a moment or a second? Because I know I'm going to die young. A lot of these young kings, they talk about it every day. I'm going to die. I know when I die, but when I die, and they don't know the power of the tongue. They don't know. That's why all these rappers that talked about death is dead. It's the power in the tongue, man. You know what? And that's I interviewed this artist in Detroit, Courtney Bell, Courtney Hard, and Courtney. He's like hip hop is a music genre of karma. What you rap, like you just said, what you rap out there, what you put out there, it's coming back. Okay, so like. With the heroin, you saw it then. At that time, they were shooting heroin, right? And you can smoke some heroin. I believe so. You can smoke it.
But now heroin has made its resurgence back. They're drinking it, lean.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. That's the new crackhead.
Yeah, and it's you like
that's the new heroin addicts. That every drug dealer, anybody they know that they are drinking liquid heroin.
Literally,
you are drinking heroin. They talk about it all the time. They say the rappers used to talk about fiends. Now they are the fiends.
Huh?
I'm going to tell the king right now, man, all them kings doing is covering pain. And that pain, it's like putting bricks on a shallow shelf. Every time you stack them up high, it's going to fall right back on you. So every day you wake up and you kill yourself slowly and slowly. You take yourself out of your consciousness to the point where you can't even control your environment. That's why you're able to be touched and killed so easy, because you don't have your whole equilibrium. You don't have your whole mind. you drunk and you on medicine when you don't need it. So when you truly become sick, the medicine won't work for you because you ruined it. You gave your body too much. So when it's time for you to die, and you spent your whole life drinking medicine while you was alive, and when it's time to die, the medicine won't work. Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
That's deep. So like, being that we know it's pain, we know it's broken families, we know it's trauma, we know a lot of us, we know a lot of Black people, we suffer from PTSD. And this is how I know why. Because we can see a group of Black people running one way. We will not sit here and say why they running.
No, we're
going to figure out why they running later on after we get to
when we start with them.
when we start running. When we see like white people, when they bunch of people running, they be like, well, what are they running for? They try to figure it out. We don't got time. It's that PTSD that's in us. But since we know we have these issues, and that we're dealing with, what are some solutions? What can we do to help right what's going on, especially with this mental? Because really, it seems like systemically, it's mental illness, it's education, it's healthcare. What can we do to right some of these wrongs?
First of all, we need to have a Black mental health coalition, a place in every urban Black city around the United States that Black people can finally go see psychiatrists, doctors, and hospitals made for us, by us. Black doctors, Black nurses, people who study our DNA, know our bloodline, because we are not the same as everybody's bloodline. Certain medicines react to our bodies differently than other bloodlines. We are different, people. And Marcus Garvey, one of my teachers, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, one of the people that I study, he talked about it, man. He talked about independence and having our own. Because the only way that we will be who we were born to be is the day it will happen is when we come together and we be one as a country. The day when you take the Bloods and the Crips and you really set them down, because it's people that's fighting to keep them fighting against each other. It's gangs that's fighting for no reason, bro. You're looking at your brother that look just like you, dog. Like I just tell Kings to think back when you was a little boy. And everybody know when there was a little boy, when they was walking, they might have seen a big Black man. But when he saw that Black man, it wasn't a Black man that he looked down upon. It was a Black man that he looked up to.
Facts.
Like, dang. Just as a young king, we had no idea what we thinking, but we like him. I like that dude. That's how I look at all my brothers, man. Y'all, it's just time. It's time to come together, man. Time to come together more than ever, man. Because if you keep killing us and they keep killing us, bro, like they say, it won't be no more us. You're gonna hear a lot of leaders in this world, bro. All the people who say they conscious and this and that. But I'm gonna tell you what a king is. A king is a man that looks adversity in the eyes and doesn't run from it and run towards it. A lot of men gonna talk to you, but they're not gonna put their life on the line for you. It's a difference. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, you can't use them names lightly. You don't see no another Malcolm X. Malcolm X was 6'4", stood tall as a king and wasn't afraid to die. I know this. When I traveled to Kingston, Jamaica, I had FBI agents following me. A Rastafarian man, one of the biggest Rastafarians out in Kingston, Jamaica, bro. The man told me, he said, you know you in danger, right? I said, how I'm in danger, King? He said, you one of the first Black men that had Caucasian men and women call you king every single morning. You have the ability to create messages and put messages in speeches that only your people or the other people can understand as well. But the other people that's supposed to really understand it, really understand it. So when you get into the business of awakening the mind, I'm independent. I sold over 500,000 streams independently. I set up a book that sold over 6,000 copies. I'm over 500 million views on YouTube. A million copies sold at $50 is $50 million. I'm an independent powerhouse. So what I set up for myself is the ability to show the world Malcolm with a check, bro. And I'm not talking about American dollar. I'm talking about international dollar. From United Kingdom to Ghana to China, countries that don't even know English because the kingdom is voice activated. I'm 31 years old, bro. I'm 31 years old, King. I don't write speeches. I have over 386 unreleased speeches. I have about 5 to 6 platinum albums created that I haven't even dropped. I'm one of the second speakers to go gold off a motivational album. And I built it all from an iPhone. That's why some people are dangerous, bro. People like Nipsey was dangerous. It's my idol. It's who I looked up to. That's who I believed in. That's who I felt that was going to bring our people back to where we belong. He was a direct descendant of Hollis Selassie, King of Kings. And we found that out after death. But that man wasn't killed over nothing normal. That man was killed because he was powerful. He was showing kings how powerful we are, how powerful the tongue was. One of his favorite quotes is from Nipsey. He said, one of the greatest human acts is to inspire. One of the greatest human acts is to inspire. Because when you inspire, it trickles down bloodline and community until it has a whole bunch of powerful kings and queens with knowledge and vision. Every black man you ever known that was a leader, where is he at, kings and queens? He dead. So if a man ain't got agents following him, if a man ain't got men on him and hate mail from the KKK, your life on the line, you just talking about it. Because when you really start to do it, you'll see bullets flying past your head.
So hearing you speak and just overall the passion, and when you say king and when we say leader, what I'm hearing king and leader turns into is servitude. To be a king, you got to be willing to get down and serve your people. To put it all on the line. It's not about telling people where you need to go, what you need to do. Is you yourself getting down there with them and say, together, we gonna make this happen, and I'm gonna help show the way. I hope people hearing this and taking the most out of this message, because we live in a world, and shout out to what's my man name that was with Jay-Z, with Rockefeller, Dame Dash. You know, people hear the Dame Dash message of everybody being bosses and black ownership. And that's amazing, because we do need that. We need black ownership. Like you said, we need services and hospitals and things that's owned by us. But to be a boss, it's always to say it's about you. To be a king, to be a leader. A kingdom is only as strong as its people. And if you want to be a strong king, you have to be willing to get down there. Exactly. And so a lot of people, man, I'm just saying, when I heard you say that over and over again, it's just like, hey, how do I serve my community? How do I get out here and uplift my people? How do I get down in there with them? Not from a throne and not from luxury do I spew all these things. No, like Malcolm did, like Martin did, you know what I'm saying, like Marcus Garvey did. They went down to the people and they galvanized and they inspired the people. And I hope these young people, because, you know, a lot of times my platform is hip hop. Sometimes we get on here and people talk beef and all that stuff, man. But sometimes we need a cleansing of all of that and get reset, because who knows? We live in a perilous time right now.
Absolutely.
You know, the type of president we have, you know, it's a big divide. If he wins or loses on November 4th, we see it's a rise of militias right now. Who, you know, we saw some militias storm Michigan, the state capitol in Michigan, and was with the guns. And then they tried to kidnap the governor. we're seeing people right now starting to draw a line in the sand, and you're starting to see where people align themselves. So in this perilous time that we live in, and for black people who feel like, man, I'm so under attack, my heart is broken because I feel like these are the only two candidates that we have to choose from. And it's two old white men fighting over who's the least racist. Mm-hmm. What are some words of encouragement can we have that you can give to us to help us stay the course, to stay focused, to not get distracted?
I'm going to tell you the real. Kings and queens, show your teeth like wolves show their teeth. When they come running, you run towards them. Because whether you want to believe it or not, it's going to be some drama. It's going to be some fighting. And please, my babies, don't be the ones turning the other cheek this time. Because I want you to live. I love all races, colors, and creeds. But I have two beautiful daughters, a grandmother, a mother, brothers, friends that's African American, of this skin complexion, and I'll murder for them. I'll kill for them. So when it comes to a race war and a militia, I'm the king that he gonna pick his pistol up and he gonna ride for his. And whatever it takes for my brothers and my sisters to live, that's what I'm willing to do. A lot of kings don't like to admit that it's gonna come a time when you're gonna have to fight for what you believe in. Mm-hmm. In the history, in the world history, bloodshed was needed for freedom. I tell people that you scared of death. And when my mother passed away, I had a crazy dream. And she said, son, I'm on a long journey, but I'm almost home. And that's when I realized that this life is a test drive. It's an audition into the most beautiful world you can ever imagine. For all the loved ones that you love is at, waiting for you. So what I say is live this life 100 miles per hour. Love on as many people as you can. Understand that money doesn't mean anything with the Most High. Don't let it consume your soul or your mind. Use it as a tool to just make your beautiful family happy. But don't let it make you. Because you can have the most money in the world and be one of the most broken human beings in the inside. But I don't want you to think that I'm promoting anger and evil. I pray that we can work everything out peacefully with the other man. Because you might not know this story about Marcus Garvey, but Marcus Garvey was one of the first black men to reach out to the KKK. And he told the Grand Wizard, we have something in common. You don't like me, and we don't like you. So, to the militia and to the true kings of the world, they're standing up for us, fighting for us, the front line for us, tell them we have something in common. We're ready for separation. We're ready for our equal rights and our equal shot at land and wealth. Because we know it's ours in the first place. Kings and queens, until you know your power, you will always be in bondage. You will always be in bondage. But when you run towards adversity, kings and queens, not from it and not just standing on a pulpit telling all these historical dinosaur facts when we got to fight tomorrow. Follow a leader, whoever that leader may be in your world and in your life, that focus on what now. That's what we need right now, at this very moment. What now? We haven't had a leader since Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and I ain't talking about nobody that got their knowledge from Google. I'm talking about somebody who got knowledge that come from a deeper place, something that you never heard before. That's what we're looking for. It's a Messiah walking this earth. I just pray you don't kill him black man. Let's get focused. And we got to get militant.
Hey, man, well, King Hollis, I appreciate you, man. And I'm rooting for you, man.
Appreciate that, brother.
And I'm in the movement with you.
1,000.
Peace out.
100.